Anyways, ba-ba, this is what I got. There's these two blind packages, balls, like gacha machine. Like, in Japan, they've got those gacha machines. And these have Maschinen Krieger models in it. Just they're 1 in 35th scale, so they're not really that small. But they would be smaller than the actual big Maschinen Krieger kits, I suppose. And you don't know what you're getting inside. There's a variety of bottles. So I've actually opened up one because I was curious what was inside, right? But yeah, there's this sort of seal, official seal. 35 Gachanen Cow Yokoyama World. There you go. Cow Yokoyama from Kyoto. So I opened up one, and we can open up both today, and maybe we'll build one. So yeah, this is what you get inside. Woohoo! And I just dropped it. See, one thing that really appealed to me is how all the runners are in this bag, and the runners are circular so that it'll fit inside this egg. I thought that was kind of funny, just because I'm so used to runners being inside of a rectangle or a square in a box. So that was kind of cool. There you've got the instructions. And the other thing that sort of appealed to me, and again, I saw this in the review from Zaku Aurelius, is that they come with this. Each one of these comes with a sheet of decals, and these are water slide decals, and they're quite nice. They've got all sorts of iconography, playing card ones, a heart with a gun, a lot of numbers, a wolf, sort of like an armored foot. And there's some of them, the details are so small, but it's really, really nice. I can't even quite... Yeah, there's like writing here, but it's so small, I can't even read it. But yeah, that's really nice. Let's take a look at the instructions. Panzerkampf Anzug. So here's the instructions. I don't know if the instructions are all the same for each one. We'll see. Like, is it this one? Or yeah, I guess they might be all the same. And you can get these. This is the Heinrich. There's the raccoon and the fireball. So hopefully we'll get one of these two in the next, but we'll see. Let's open up the bag at least and take a look. And then we'll open up the other one, and then we'll choose one of these to build. So this is the stand. And I believe you can put the stand into the circle here, and this can be sort of like a display now. You can sort of display your model on top of this, which is pretty neat. Well, let's put them... Okay, let's take a look at this, see what we got. See if I can tell what this is. And yeah, this would be a 1 in 35th scale model, which is actually in line with the obsolete security mech that I painted sort of at the beginning of the year. That was also 1 in 35th scale, so it might be kind of neat to get this and a few other 1 in 35th scale items and try and create like a diorama. That might be kind of fun. So yeah, I think that this is indeed the model kit that's shown here in the instructions, and then let's see what we get in the other bag. Yeah. Look at that. So okay, let's see. It has a couple of loose parts like that and these, and then let's see about the actual runners here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. 7 runners plus a couple of loose parts, and then a base and the decal sheet, all in this one bag. That's pretty cool. I have to say that that's pretty neat, and if I build this and I really like it, I might try and find some more, because yeah, that was actually pretty cool. And we'll build it. We'll build one of these at least today, maybe even both, depending on how much time we have. But let's take a look at the next one and see what we get. Ideally, we don't want the same model. It's not the end of the world if it is, because we could always paint it something different or modify it somehow. So let's see. And I really don't know anything much about the lore of this setting, so I might end up creating a scene or a diorama, but that could be like somehow wrong, but we'll see. Ooh, it's different. I can tell it's different colored at least. Okay, this is the raccoon. Ooh, the example is really nice. Wow, I tore the instruction just now. So yeah, I've got the raccoon and it looks like this. This is a painted example. And that could be really fun to paint it like that. And yeah, you can get different variant colors. I got this kind of brownish one, but since I'm painting it, it doesn't really matter. We can make it look any way we want. So yeah, cool. Yeah, this is actually really fun. And let's see the decal sheet. Yeah, see? So that's a different decal sheet from the last. Got some big numbers, got a fish. There's a decal with a quote here. Things are changing, but nothing changes, and still there are changes. And then there's French. That must be some quote or something. Very nice, very nice. Yeah, so like 2 nice little decal sheets. I think I might want to paint this one or build this one first. Looks kind of fun. This brown one. And yeah, this is a very kind of iconic build from the Maschinen Krieger, or design from the Maschinen Krieger world. So how many frames does this one come with? Runners 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So less, but it doesn't have the clear parts like the other one does. Cool. Okay, well, let's go. Let's get into this. Let's build this brown one, I guess. Let's put this stuff back in here. Yeah, I'm actually really happy with these. It's really interesting. Let's change up the music here. Okay. Okay, the instructions are tiny, so I'm gonna have to really kind of use my eagle eye vision to zoom in on this. 18. Oh, you know what? This is a different kit. I was looking at the instructions for the wrong one. Here we are. Okay, so we need the big leg, which is 1. I kind of want to take a picture of this stuff before I really cut into it, because it's actually just really cool. So let's do that real quick. Just take a quick picture of this. So I think it's kind of fun. Okay. So, let's get started. Finally, 1, the leg. Is this the leg? Oh, here we are. The one looks kind of like a 7, but it is indeed a 1. And wow, there's a lot of tiny little parts actually. It's kind of surprising. Like, again, you would... I just normally think of gacha models and model kits that you get from a vending machine or a egg machine, and I just never think about them having a lot of parts to it. So yeah, it's just kind of surprising just how many little parts there are to this. It's a real model kit. It just happens to come in a small package. And we need 12. And this manufacturer, Kyoto, they have a new line of small, tiny model kits for an anime called Eurocamp. And I actually really like that anime. It's just really comfy. It's about like high school girls going camping, and you kind of learn about camping and stuff through that anime or manga. It's both. It's kind of nice. I just realized something. Hold up. Hold up. Okay. 5. Got a big foot here. That's 7. Oh, I took out the foot already? I think that's 5. And then we need 8. Here we are. The numbers are quite small on these. 8. And I think that's all the parts for this. Oh yeah, so they made so Kyoto, they've made a new line of miniatures, gacha-based miniatures for the anime Eurocamp. And it's just really neat. Like, it's the characters from the anime, right? And you have to build them. But they also come with a bunch of little accessories, because again, the show and the manga, it's all about camping. So yeah, it comes with little like camping accessories like a stove or a tent or a little chair, folding chair. Yeah, it's kind of neat. And I've seen some people on YouTube, because they just came out in Japan. I've seen a number of, well, some people on YouTube, builders that I follow, create little dioramas based on them. It's pretty cool. Cool to me, at least. And I've never built a model from this company before, so I really don't know about the quality. It seems okay. We'll see when it comes to like shaving it and sanding the parts. We'll see how I feel about it then. But so far, it's pretty good. So this model here is actually a snap fit together model kit, but I'm pretty sure that the models from the range, the bigger box set model kits from the Maschinen Krieger line, I'm pretty sure that those you really need to get in there with the glue. It's more of like a traditional model kit. There's no snap fit parts. I could be wrong though. Yeah, so I went to the fair, the local town fair today. It was really nice. They had a petting... Oh no, it's not really a petting zoo, but they had like this this little area, this barn filled with alpaca, um, miniature goats and ducks and all sorts of cool animals. It was really neat, and there was like a competition for best in show chickens and roosters and hens, best in show doves, like pretty much like all sorts of like common barnyard type animals. They had like a competition for them, cows as well. Yeah, I took a lot of footage, took a lot of pictures. It was nice. I really enjoyed it. It was fun. Ba, ba, ba. Oh, actually, you saw the Night Trap's short video of the staring contest? Yeah, that's actually really funny. Alpacas are so cool. They're so... they have such big eyes. They come from the same family as camels, and when you look at them, you're like, oh yeah, I do see the camel-like resemblance, but yeah, in the eyes, you can really see it. I like alpacas a lot. Paper Joy, did you get to touch any of them? Yeah, you were able. They did have a lot of those animals available to touch and pet. I kind of didn't want to because I don't know. My feeling was that these poor guys, they're kind of getting felt up by like all these kids and adults. I'm like, you know, I'm sure that they're the most calm animals that they had, and they're probably very used to humans at this point. But I was just like, I'm just fine, just looking. I'll just look. Although I was really tempted to pet the alpaca, because their coat looks so fuzzy. I was really tempted to. I kind of really wanted to, but I resisted. Showed some restraint. There was this guy making art with a chainsaw. He was like, you know, sculpting and carving out sculptures of bears and dogs and turtles and owls with just a chainsaw. That was pretty awesome. Paper Joey, so you didn't get to pick one up? No. There was like a baby goat and a baby alpaca. That would have been nice. Pick one up and just take it home with me. I'm taking this. I'm leaving, guys. The Bamba alpacas are bros? Yeah. They're super cool. I have no idea how hard it is to take care of one compared to, say, a goat or a cow, but they're pretty awesome. Okay, we need this kneecap. Yeah, there's this guy with a chainsaw carving into wood. Really, really impressive stuff. And it's like the most metal way to make art. You know, like people use a brush, people paint with watercolors, and you know, maybe you're feeling adventurous, you're gonna start drawing with like a stick or a twig. This guy's out here with a chainsaw. Okay, I think there's another part that we need. Let me see here. Oh yeah, this one. The Bamba saw this TikTok of a lady hiker who had to go through a pasture with alpacas to get to the top of a mountain. She was confident because alpacas tend to be nice, but they were llamas, and llamas are not as nice as alpacas. How do... Okay, so for future reference, if I ever find myself vanilla, yeah, you love alpacas. Wait a minute. Wait, how do we know what's the difference? What's the... just in case I'm ever out in the wild, walking in the mountains as this lady was, how can I tell the difference between a llama and an alpaca? So what happened to her? Did she get attacked? Llamas are taller, and their ears are upright, and alpacas are cute. Okay, alpacas are cute, and llamas are not cute? Llamas are taller, though, okay. I wonder if the one that I saw at the zoo, or sorry, at the fair, was a alpaca or a llama now, because it was tall. It was tall, so maybe. And llamas are ugly? Damn, sorry. Sorry, llamas. Vanilla has spoken. You ugly. For a while, I just assumed that they were like just the same animal that people called differently, but yeah, they're different. They're all ugly in a beautiful way. No, they're beautiful in an ugly way. They're all beautiful. They're cousins. They're cousins. I just remember, yeah, so they're from the family of camels. And you can kind of see it, right? You can see how they look a little bit like a camel, especially in the face. I remember as a kid, maybe that's why I kind of like alpacas so much, is because as a kid, I went on a ride. Like they had this zoo or whatever, and I could ride a camel, and I just remember laughing my ass off the entire time. Like it was just so funny to me to be on a camel as a kid. I still remember that feeling. It was like it's just such a ridiculous kind of animal, I guess. And I just remember laughing and laughing the whole time. Whoa, Vanilla, you adopted an alpaca a couple of years ago? Whoa, that's so cool. So you can actually just visit like an alpaca whenever you want? That's pretty neat. Vanilla, your BF did for me. Best gift ever. Oh yeah. That's so cool. Adopted an alpaca. So what's your alpaca's name? This music is very dancey, very dancey. Vanilla, they sent me a plushie made with her real fur? Whoa! A plushie from, like, the real fur from the very same alpaca. It's kind of like a totem item now. It's like you have like a spiritual connection to it. Oh, the farm is pretty far away, but you get pictures and videos. Pretty cool. Interesting. Alpaca. And yeah, they had chickens and roosters and stuff. And there was like, they had ducks, and comparing a duck to a chicken, I was actually pretty surprised that ducks just seem a whole lot bigger. I thought that they were just about the same dimension, same size, same volume. A duck and a chicken, but well, I guess maybe it depends, but this one looked significantly larger than most of the chickens there. And yeah, they had best in show corn, best in show vegetables, the best most aesthetically pleasing cucumbers, the best what else? The biggest pumpkin, the winning pumpkin was 425 pounds or thereabouts, which was massive. The second place pumpkin was something along the lines of 200. So for first place to be 400, I was like, man, Someone test this pumpkin for PEDs. This pumpkin is outrageous. But I guess they don't do drug testing on vegetables. Did it make me want turducken? Yes, Eshwin, I remember you even created turducken for us one time. No, I didn't really want turducken when I was there. And they had cows, and the cows were actually really, really nice looking. And there was this one, like, really big, dark cow. And Night Trap was like, that cow is magnificent. Vanilla Alpaca was called Gaia and had 2 kids. Wow, that's cool. Gaia. That's awesome. Bamba, my favorite way to differentiate bird size, volume. The volume. Eshwin, I fucked up that turducken. If I ever do it again, I promise I will do better. Oh, alright. I don't know. It seemed okay to me. Turkey in general is just kind of tough sometimes, because, like, you know, a few minutes too long and then it goes dry. It's just tricky all around. So yeah, it didn't seem like a huge mistake. Like, it seemed decent from what I recall. It's been a while, so I don't really recall too well. But yeah, that was fun. That was fun. Remember back in the day, like in the college days, it was almost like a contest for all the students to compete and see how many Thanksgiving dinners you could get, right? Because you know, you're Canadian, you've got Thanksgiving in October. Americans get their Thanksgiving in November, I believe. And let's say you go to one Thanksgiving dinner for, like, your immediate family, but maybe there's a second one if you're, like, you know, if you're in a relationship with someone and you get invited to their family Thanksgiving, so now you got 2 Thanksgivings. Maybe there's, like, a Thanksgiving for both sides of the family, so, like, your father's side of the family and your mother's side of the family. Suddenly you've got 3 Thanksgiving dinners, right? And say you have an American friend, or you're American yourself. Suddenly you're up 4. You've got another Thanksgiving on your way. So yeah, it can rack up. It's especially if you're like a starving college student, right? Suddenly getting like an influx of turkey-based meals, you know, it's not bad. Get a lot of bang for your buck on Thanksgiving. Ashton got to cover it in bacon, low and slow. The birds are hard to roast. There's an art to birds. There's an artistry to bird cooking. I can believe it. Oh yeah. Those, like, really tiny birds. Have you tried cooking of any of those? That seems pretty tricky too, just because they're so small. I feel like they could, in a different kind of way, they can just, like, dry out real quickly because they're so small. I should know, yeah, my ex's Thanksgiving and their Christmas dinner was always great. Her mom made cookies and they did the whole Christmas thing. Old school, it's fun. Oh, you've cooked quail. It was delicious. And Cornish hen. Oh, okay. Didn't dry out. Yeah, just, like, not that I've tried it myself. It just seems like it might be tricky as well. But yeah. That's it's kind of like we're getting close to that kind of season now where it just sort of reminds me of the school days and stuff too. Okay, let's see, 29. Just stick it in there. Let's So yeah, there's a wee bit of articulation, but this part seems like it would be very prone to falling out, this arm. Yeah, again, this model kit is really cool. It's basically a vending machine model kit. In Japan, you would get these from a gacha machine, but they have them here in North America. They just have them like you can just buy them at like a hobby store. But considering that, like they just came in this big, this black ball. Considering that, it's actually quite nice. Like I feel like the plastic quality is pretty nice, and the complexity of the build is quite good considering, again, it's all just from an egg, and they all came in these circular runners stacked up like this, or more accurately, kind of like this. I got 2 of them, and the fact that they're 1/35 scale as well, it's pretty cool. Actually, frankly speaking, I'm all about beef and pork roasts. Nice. All day, every day. Bomba, I was AFK for a while. What are we making? Okay, so it's just this right here. I think the product is called 35 Gachanen, Volume 2.0. And Kao Yokoyama is the designer of these models, and he makes a line called Maschinen Krieger. That's kind of like what this line of models are called, Maschinen Krieger, the world that it belongs to. And they made these smaller little model kits. This is the model that we're building now, right here. Right? It comes in different colors, as you can see, but you can paint it. This is a painted example, which I think I want to do. I'm not sure if I'll paint it like this, but I do want to paint it. And yeah, they come with a pack of one sheet of water slide stickers. So I have 2 because I bought 2 models. And yeah, I got 2. This is the second one. The second one here is going to look like this. So the guy's exposed. You can see how big, like, the scale of the model is. The humanoid figure it's just like armor that he slips into. It's not like a giant mech. But I think that's very, very interesting, you know, compared to Gundam, for example. So yeah, you can put like a clear canopy on top. And yeah, there's another design which I didn't get. I kind of want this design as well. Scary, I thought it would be bigger. Yeah. There's other models in the range where they're bigger, but this is sort of like the light armor or something. Ashwin looks like the type of model that was meant to be embellished with embellished and leads itself to customization. Yeah, I thought you were saying LEDs, but yeah, for sure. The fireball is the coolest of the bunch. Yeah, agreed. I kind of want to try and find this one, seeing as how I have the other 2. Yeah, and I will likely get one of the bigger models from this range as well. But this is a very long-lasting range of models. The Maschinen Krieger line, or you can search, if you're interested, you could search M.A.K. M.A.K. But they've been going for nearly as long as Gundam models, like the 80s or something. Maybe the Gundam was like 70s. But these models have been going on for almost as long. Not these specifically, but the entire theme itself, manufactured by a different company. And they're kind of regarded as like a bit more involved in terms of work and assembly compared to a Gundam model kit, because nearly all Gundam model kits are snap fit, right? And the M.A.K. model range is not snap fit. They're simply like straight up gluing and all of that stuff. More like a Western model kit, like building a car or a tank model kit. So that's kind of interesting as well. Yeah, very interesting. Very interesting line. Very different than Gundam, that's for sure. Very different from a lot of stuff that's out there, and it's a little more. It's a little more my speed. I kind of enjoy the aesthetics of this more than Gundam, which I was talking about this earlier, but Gundam kind of has its roots in a lot of the super robots like Mazinger Z and stuff like that. It's kind of, although it doesn't bear much resemblance now, that's kind of where the roots lay. But these models, they kind of have their roots in, I don't want to say more realistic, but it's a slightly more gritty kind of aesthetic. When you look at a lot of painted examples of Maschinen Krieger models, they're often filled with a lot of chipping and rust and grime and stuff. And yeah, again, that's something that I'm a little more interested in. I kind of enjoy that look a little more than the slick and clean world of Gunpla. Okay, so we are snapping these parts together. Ashwin, add some texture and life. Yeah, pretty much. That's gonna be the goal. We're gonna try. Oops. Not sure if that's the correct order. Let's get all these pieces out. 26. Actually, that's what I mean with this one. Lots of broad curved areas, yeah. The Bomba, couldn't you make your Gunpla weathered though, or are those models not really customizable? Oh, you definitely could weather Gunpla, and I might do that, but it's more of like, what's the word I'm looking for? Sometimes a model just feels like it would lend itself to a certain painting style more than another. That's probably the best way to put it. There's nothing really holding you back from painting a Gunpla really weathered, and in fact many people have done that, and I might do that too. Nothing really holding you back from it, but it's just, I just feel like when you look at a lot of models and what people have done with this range specifically, the Maschinen Krieger line, it just sort of lends itself to that really gritty, grimy look, and something about Gundam kind of lends itself to that really clean and slick look. But yeah, there's definitely nothing holding you back from doing that, and I very well might do that too. 23. 23. Monday. Let's see. And 20. One thing that I find interesting is that these model kits are 1/35 scale, and the like fuller line, if you want to call it that, of Maschinen Krieger models, the bigger line, so to speak, or the main line, if maybe that's a better way of putting it, of MAK models, they range from 1/20th scale to also 1/35th scale. So I would be very curious if I could mix and match these models with the other 1/35th scale models. Like, it should work, but I don't know. Something about these, they seem a lot smaller than the ones in the box. Not really sure. Yeah, at the moment, I'm kind of taking on a couple of smaller projects. I'm kind of just working on a bunch of smaller builds, and then we'll kind of build up to a bigger project sometime in the winter, maybe, or as we really get into the fall. But yeah, I would say everything, all my building projects right now have been kind of on the smaller scale side. Okay, so we gotta put this dome. The Bomba, I'm looking at Gundam since Suiyu really got into the Gunpla, and they make me want to build it. But they're also similar, and there's so many grades. Right. I'm relatively new to the world of Gunpla as well. Like, I used to build them when I was a kid, but I kind of left it for a very, very long time, and only late last year I came back into it. And so I'm kind of new to all of this as well, but I do have some thoughts on getting into it if you're like kind of getting into it for the first time. And I think I agree that it can be really, really overwhelming, and there's just a lot of stuff out there, and they can kind of all look the same in all the grades. But if you're coming into this like for the first time, and you kind of want to see what it's like to build one, and you have some experience with like building, obviously you have a bit of experience building models and plastic model kits, so that's not too big of an issue. But I actually really like the entry grade models. They're called the EG. EG or entry grade models, and there's only actually a few of them out there right now. I think there's just 3 Gundam model kits that are entry grade. And the latest one is called the V Gundam, or the New Gundam. You can search EG New NU Gundam or V Gundam. And that's the latest one. I built it not too long ago, and it's really nice. It's easy, but very nice. So that's an easy recommendation. But if you're looking for anything that like strikes your fancy, like the style and the look of it, like go ahead and just try whatever. Like try a HG, try a master grade. Just get whatever you think looks good, because it's all gonna be pretty good. There's varying degrees of quality within the Gunpla model ranges. But I feel like, again, since you're coming from Warhammer, like you're gonna have a decent amount of experience to back you up in terms of building this stuff. So I don't think you're gonna have too many problems. Bomba, I can only find high grade or above? Yeah. Definitely just see what's out there and give it a shot. High grade is also like kind of like a good entry level range to get into. They're not really that complex, so that would be a good one. Oh, Gundam isn't really a thing here in Europe. Oh, okay. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, that would be tricky then. You might have to resort to mailing away. In that case, yeah, I would definitely try and get like a high grade or something, whatever you can find. Like you were saying at your, whatever you can find, if it's a high grade, give it a shot. Well, would you say you have like a lot of options when it comes to finding Warhammer stuff though, where you're located? Are these the same? Okay, yeah, okay, it goes like that. Far isn't a 30-minute drive. Oh, I thought we were talking like several hours. Okay. Far for a Dutchman, probably not so for a Canadian. I mean, 30 minutes? Yeah, 30 minutes is pretty good. For a Canadian, yeah, I'll take 30 minutes. Because, like, for example, the two closest hobby stores, for me, they're more like an hour away. Or maybe even a little bit more. So I'll take half an hour. I have a friend from the US who always laughs at me when I complain about a 30-minute drive. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that's just how it is in North America. Everything is so spread out, right? Especially if you are looking for very specific stuff, like hobby stuff like this. It feels like you're just gonna have to bite the bullet and accept that you're gonna have to go for a drive to get out there. It's funny because when I lived in Toronto, there was a lot more options available to me for hobby stuff. Many stores within like, you know, half an hour drive or so, right? But because of traffic, like there's just like Toronto is in like a constant state of construction, and there's a lot of traffic that you have to deal with. Or if I was, for example, taking the bus or whatever, all of those factors meant that, like, even though on paper it may have been a short drive, really it would still feel like a much longer undertaking, because you would just be out for like a large portion of the day due to the traffic and stuff. And now that I'm in a small town, everything is a lot farther away from me, but there's just a whole lot less traffic, so it actually ends up feeling the same. The Bamba, in a couple of hours you're done touring the border of the country. I think that's really fun though about Europe. Like, I don't know how you feel about it, but it seems really fun, the fact that you could just, you know, just take a trip to another country, like, for a day, you know? I mean, in a sense I could do that too, right? Like, I could, you know, have a day trip to the States, and I have done that in the past. Obviously these days it's not as easy, but yeah. I mean, for Canadians, the only option really is a quick little day trip to the States. But if you're in Europe, you have like a lot of options. You can be like, hey, let's go here, let's go there. You can go to all sorts of different places. Well, again, I don't really know about the situation currently. But yeah, 9. Let's get some water. So pretty productive day today. We're working on our second model. 9. Okay, I just had to double check and see where the runner ended and the model part began here. It's quite small. Small pieces freak me out. I always feel like I'm gonna break them. You'd think after building so many models at this point I'd be used to it, but no. Yeah, all these parts need a little bit of cleanup. I would say the quality of the plastic here is quite good. It seems to be better than that Maydroid Chloe model that I bought. Where is this manufactured? No, it's made in China. Okay. I was gonna say, is it made in... yeah, there's just something kind of dorky about this. Like, I love the aesthetic. Like, it's I was saying it's not realistic, right? But there's something kind of dorky and funny about this. But the way it's been painted it's been considered in a very kind of realistic way. It's very funny to me. Okay, how does this gun go on top? It's Carmi. How's it going, Carmi? How are you today? What's up? What's up? Today we are working on this 35 Gachanen Volume 2.0, and that's how the model's gonna look. This is from the line called Maschinen Krieger by Kao Yokoyama. Wait, there's a picture of him. There he is. There he is. So happy. I think that's Kao Yokoyama. Yeah, it is. Happy fellow. And yeah, they come in these little egg machines, like gacha machines. And I bought 2 of these. I opened up both. Wah! And I'm working on them now. And earlier today I worked on Haro. I worked on this. I basically finished in like an hour or something. And we'll have to paint this guy, but yeah. This is pretty neat so far. I'm liking this model kit. Considering that it came in an egg machine thing, and all the runners were just on these circular runners, which I thought was kind of interesting. And they're all just coming that, and then you get like these water slides all crammed in there. It's not bad, I think, and the model is quite nice. Like, it's a little simplistic, but it's quite nice so far. And this is a part that I definitely have to glue. Did you have a good weekend, Carmi? I saw some of your pictures on Instagram. Looked pretty fun. I went to a fair. I went to my town's, I guess you could call it a state fair, but this is just like a town fair, I guess. It was fun. Got to see some animals, talking about that earlier today. You know, it's weird, like, I feel like ever since the pandemic and, like, you know, everyone's been cooped up inside and all of that stuff. And for me, I just really got into looking at animal videos. I guess everyone likes animal videos, but yeah, I felt like it was just very it was very healing just to watch animal videos on YouTube. I just saw one yesterday of a it's a YouTube channel called The Dodo. You guys probably have seen it, run across that channel before. But there was like this sloth that got electrocuted by like a power line, right? And its claw, like, one of its claws got destroyed, and it couldn't go back into the wild, and they were trying to take care of it and everything, and they ended up the sloth ended up befriending a dog at the vet. And now the sloth and the dog are just best buddies. I was like, oh my god. Bamba, not a fan of the dodo. Oh, why not? Please let me know. And then I'll become not a fan. But yeah. Let me know. Okay, so that goes like that. Okay, that's good. And it looks like there's a front unit that we got to attach. Oh, it's like a camera situation. Lots of fake animal rescues? Oh my god. So maybe the story that I read was totally fake. What the hell? Oh my god, I've been deceived. I mean, the sloth really did, like, lose its claw. I don't know how. They said it was like it got electrocuted. maybe that's fake. Maybe it really isn't friends with the sloth, with the dog. I've been deceived. Well, yeah, not just the sloth, not just the dodo, but other sites, like other channels that have animal videos. Like, hopefully they're not all fake, but just in general, I really do enjoy watching animal videos. The world is so topsy-turvy sometimes, and sometimes it's just nice to watch an animal video. It's the one nice thing that you can just watch and enjoy, and now it's been taken away from me because it's all fake too. No! The bomb, I'm sure there are real ones, but also a lot of fake ones, and they also tend to praise a dangerous way to rescue animals. Oh, yeah. So I've definitely noticed that about, like, when on Instagram and stuff like that, or YouTube Shorts, when people post videos of various animals and stuff, and it's like that they see in the wild, and they're just sort of like handling them nonchalantly and stuff, and it's like, oh my god, you're better off just leaving these animals alone. Actually, I have a friend that works at a vet, and she often gets people that bring in animals that are in the wild, and they're like, oh, I saw this animal and it looked like it was dying in the wild, and like, can you take care of it? And she was actually saying, like, in a lot of cases, it's just, sometimes you should just leave the animal. Like, it might be dying, sure, but that's just kind of like the natural course of things. I think that's how she put it. But I guess also, like, veterinarian systems are getting overloaded too. That might be a concern. The bomb, sorry. It's okay, no problem. I'd rather know the truth. Okay, there's the front camera unit. I love this thing. It looks so dorky, the way the camera sticks out. Yeah, there it is. It looks a lot cooler on the painted version, right? So I think we'll approach it something like that. I like how it's slightly off center too. Like, it's not quite in the center. I like that. I feel like it could be even more off to the center. That would look even better, in my opinion, if it was like kind of over here. But we will trust Kao Yokoyama. Kao Yokoyama designed this, so that's where he wants it. That's where it's gonna be. There was one where they threw a tortoise back in the water on a hot day. Uh-oh. Wait, hold on a second. I'm a little confused here about this model. It says I could put it on the base, but okay. Well, we'll figure that out when we get there. 16 and 13. Yeah, I'm still cutting out parts. Like, this model, it's small, but it's got quite a lot of detail to it, which is really cool. It's like a legit model that just happens to be small. This is the second to last step, but there's still things on the runners, so I feel like they're just gonna tell me to put a bunch of crap on the model on the final step. They killed the tortoise and got praised for it. That is messed up, dude. Damn. That is messed up. Definitely going to be a little cautious of the dodo. Gonna give it a little side eye. Or at the very least do my own research. Like, I'll watch, say that sloth video. I'll kind of, maybe I'll try and look into it and see if it's legit, you know? Alright. Let's move his hand up a bit. 16. Okay, this tube goes right here and right there. Just put it in a little loosely. Again, I'm gonna have to take this apart if I want to paint it. Oh, you're looking at the sloth one? The one with the dog? That's the one I saw. But yeah, it is pretty cute. Okay. What? What goes in the back there? See, this is where there's some writing in Japanese, and it's like, I don't know. What do you want me to do? I don't understand. We'll try. Oh yeah, that's the one. Yeah, it's pretty nice, pretty nice. Okay, I think I've taken all the pieces. 31. Oh, wait. Oh, okay, there's something else here, I think. Is there? Eh. Looks like there's a part that I need to find. Well, let's just clean up these parts here. And I gotta be careful not to cut off something that's actually a detail. Some little parts here that look like I'm supposed to cut it off, but it's actually details. Ooh, this part looks a little weird. It's a lot of... Can't really tell where I'm supposed to cut. Looks like the sloth decided on its own to stay, so then it's alright. I'm just always wary being a wildlife management student. Oh, that's cool. That's very, very cool. I didn't know that. That's neat. Wildlife management. So, you would then... What would you... So you would be working in, like, conservation or something along those lines? What would you then be doing when you finish your studies? That's really neat. But it's good. Okay, Okay, let's just clean this whole thing up. Okay, let's not. I'm not really sure what's a part of the model and what's the runner here. It's so small. Well, anyways, let's see. And we need this thing. People often think they're doing the right thing, but it's almost always the opposite. Yeah, that's... Again, that was what my friend that's a vet was kind of saying as well. Like, they take in these animals that they see on their walks or whatever, and they bring them in, and she's always like, she was sort of saying how she would have rather you just left it in the wild. Like, people make assumptions, like you're saying, like that they're helping, but she'd probably just leave it. Llama conservation and habitat restoration are my dreams, or rewilding. Cool. Man, that sounds really, really neat. That's awesome. Rewilding. So would that be sending a model, an animal, back into the wild after taking care of them? Something along those lines. Okay, we're gonna have to trim this part. It looks a little The connecting piece is a little chunky, so we gotta trim it a bit. Not a big deal. I find that you don't have to do this as much with a Gunpla model kit with something from Bandai, and to a lesser extent something from Kotobukiya. But it's not too bad. It's not that big of a deal if you have to go in there and kind of trim parts. Remember, friend of the channel here, Knotslide, was saying it kind of makes you a better modeler when you have to really address some of these like deficiencies in the production of these model kits. It's not the end of the world. There's always something that you can do about it. That would be rehabilitation. Rewilding is reintroducing an apex predator in an area, which will then regulate the entire ecosystem by keeping the population in check. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Cool. Yeah, so, it was 2 weeks ago? There was like this, thing in my town. It was a garlic fest. You know, it was all about garlic, different kinds of garlic, growing it, blah, blah, blah. It was really interesting, but they also had different things going on there, including it was sort of like a wildlife education, raising awareness speaker, and he had an eagle, like like for the Americans out there, it looked like pretty much your typical American bald eagle, right? Like we have them here in Canada too. But it was really interesting. He was saying how for a very long time the population of eagles, it was declining in Canada, and then one little change actually did a lot to address it. And what it was, a lot of fishing lures and weights and bait that's used in Canada for a time, that is not now, had lead in it, right? And so the lead goes into the fish. Like if say the lure is dropped, it falls into the body of water. The fish, start eating, or get like lead poisoning, and then the eagles themselves are hunting the fish, and then they get lead poisoning, right? And thus the population was declining. But the one change that they enacted, I don't know when, but they got rid of lead in the fishing bait and stuff like that. And year after year since then, the population of eagles has been on the rise. I thought that was really interesting. Bomba, it's the most hands-off management we can do. And the result is a wilder wildlife. Yeah, interesting. Yeah. Wilder wildlife. That's what you want, right? That's the goal. You don't want humans to have to be involved and have to manage every single thing, right? Yeah. That makes sense. We love a recovery story, yeah. And, man, seeing that eagle in person, like, he just had it on his arm, and it was just chilling, but, like, wow. Those birds are magnificent. So huge. Oh, I'm so tempted to cut this part off because I don't think it's a part of the model. I think it's just a part of the runner. Let's do it. And forever hold my peace. That's interesting. So the apex predator, so long as you introduce that back into the wild, they sort of rebalance the entire ecosystem. cool. The other thing that this person, this speaker, was talking about, which I thought was kind of interesting, was how like he does a lot of talks at schools, right? You know, he goes to schools and he talks about animals. He brings his animals and stuff, right? But when he talks to the kids, they seem to know a lot more about Western animals. Sorry, about like non-Canadian animals than they do about actual Canadian North American animals. Like he was saying, they know a lot more about like camels and elephants and stuff like that. And he's like, man, you guys need to know about Canadian animals because they're great too. And then I thought about it. I was like, yeah, that's true. Even when I was a kid, I kind of gravitated more towards like the other animals, not the Canadian ones. And it's like, yeah, there's a lot of cool, awesome Canadian animals too. When I went on my trip not too long ago, during the summer, to Atlantic Canada, there was a number of signs, and they got increasingly larger and larger the more we moved into Atlantic Canada, of moose crossings. And it was like, should I be concerned? The moose crossing sign, like, it was big, and then it just got bigger and bigger to the point where I was like, wait, it's almost like, it feels like a T-Rex crossing more than it does a moose crossing. But then I remembered that moose are actually pretty gigantic and pretty terrifying. I was like, oh yeah, we should be careful. I was like, I kind of want to see a moose, but at the same time, I kind of don't, because they're gigantic. And that would be bad. Okay, let me look at this instruction here. 14. Where is that? Oh, okay. And how does that plug in? That doesn't make sense. Bomba, they hunt herbivores, so vegetation can grow more. More trees means more birds and squirrels and such, which means more raptors. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's awesome. More carcasses attract scavengers and fungi, all because of a single species. That is really cool. Ashwin, yeah, what if the moose thinks your car is a threat and smashes it, and you guys are in the car like in Jurassic Park? Exactly. You can see on YouTube, there's pictures of moose like flipping over humans. We got a small car, so we definitely would have been flipped over by the moose. Okay, we're looking for 14. Where is this? Did I cut it out already? Oh, it's so small. Holy crap. I almost would have just thrown this out. I thought I was done. Seen videos of moose licking road salt off cars. Pretty funny delay. Got a delay here on the traffic news. Got a moose licking the salt off of cars. Yeah, moose are pretty awesome. Yeah, like I said, I've been watching a lot of animal videos as of late, especially this summer. And I was like, holy crap. These moose are scary. Not really funny. Funny, but not funny. Yeah, in the Toronto Zoo is supposed to be a pretty good zoo, like in terms of North America. It's not like the best #1 zoo, but it's up there. And I remember reading that, sorry, not reading, but I remember going there and they didn't have any moose. And now that I think about it, I'm like, I don't think they could really handle a moose. Like they have deer, but yeah, I don't think a moose would be. I don't think they could really even handle that, to be honest. Like they had elephants for a while, but a moose? Okay, this goes in here. It's a very small and fiddly part. But they did have a large sort of like sculpture or figure or whatever of a moose. And I remember seeing that as a kid. Actually, I was probably a teenager and thinking like, holy crap, that's a moose? That's gigantic. I've always kept that in mind. Yeah, and there's like footage of like people just on like a cross-country skiing excursion. And they're like waist deep in the snow or something, right? The snow is just really, really deep. And then the moose just rampages by them. And it's like a truck or a train just plowing through snow. It's amazing. Powerful creatures. There you go. So there's something that I don't understand here. Let's see. Something about the foot. Ah, we can remove a plate. We can remove one of these plates from the bottom of the foot. I feel like it's too late now, though, because it's kind of in there. But had I kept that in mind, I would have been able to just place him on this and then use this as the stand. But this is really cool. There's something so unusual about this. It seems kind of like a spacesuit almost. And it is humanoid looking, but there's just something kind of off, like how long the limbs and how short how long the arms are compared to how short the legs. And there's no real face to it. There's a camera here in the front and then a little gun mounted to the top. It's really neat. Really neat. This thing could use a little clean because it's a little scuffed up. Or we could do something. We don't actually even need to use it. Might look better without it. But I might go on to create some sort of diorama with all three, with both of these. But I will see. We shall see. The mama, I love how we're supposed to be the apex predator of the world, but when you're eye to eye with many species like moose and elephants, you can't really believe it. Yeah, exactly. We're supposed to be the best. Well, ideally we should be the caretakers. We should be the ones trying to take care of these animals. That doesn't happen all the time, unfortunately. But yeah. Some animals, yeah, when I think of because I used to be super into dinosaurs, like I'm sure a lot of kids were, right, really into dinosaurs. But and I've kind of talked about this before, but it's like, what happens after like you're done learning about dinosaurs? Not that you're ever done learning about dinosaurs, but as a kid you kind of want something else. What's the next thing? And it's a little sad in some respects when there's no more, like there's nothing, there aren't any dinosaurs in the world. Well, I mean, there's birds, of course, right? But then yeah, like I got into like learning about whales. I got into learning about other animals, and like you said, the elephant and the moose, all of these creatures are so massive. It's like they might as well be dinosaurs in some ways, because they're just so freaking huge. And whales too. Okay, so yeah, that is one model done. Cow Yokoyama, 35 Gachanen, 1 in 35th scale. The raccoon, the fireball. This could be like an opposing faction. It says Panzerkampf Ansung Heinrich. And I don't know if this comes with like two... It's showing two different things, H1O and H1 and HO. So maybe there's like two variations for this. We'll take a quick look. I think I'll save building it for another day. Oh, it says all new tooling plastic parts. That's interesting. But another thing that I want to do is kind of do some research and look into these models and look at some painted examples and see what I want. See how I'm going to paint this, right? I'll do some research because it should be fun little project. If I can build this one, and then we'll see about a third one, and maybe we can make a little diorama or something. We'll see. Always the German names, the Japanese still love them. Yeah, and also in RPGs and stuff, there's a lot of like games with like German that refer to like German names and stuff. It's like, man, I have a hard time enough trying to pronounce like Japanese names. Now I gotta learn how to pronounce like German names too. Let's take a quick look at this one. This is the second model kit that I bought. This one actually has a lot more runners in it. It seems to be a more involved, a more complex model compared to this one that I just built. This has, I think, 7 runners right here, and plus several other extra clear parts that aren't on runners. And this model also has a human face. There you go. That's really interesting. It actually has a human that's going to be a part of the model kit. So that's pretty cool. But I'm trying to understand here. It says, oh, okay, so you're gonna have the option to build it as the Panzerkampf H0 or H1. I don't really know what's the difference. Oh, I think he can hold the rocket launcher with 2 hands or hold it like in a different stance. I think that's the option there. It might tell me, oh, okay, it's a different weapon. 2 different kinds of weapons. So I'll have to decide. This might be a little harder to paint because I'm gonna have to paint the human separately and then put him inside after. But yeah, we'll probably save this guy for another time because actually building this model was a little more involved than I had anticipated compared to Haro, at least, my little friend Haro here. And it all just nicely fits into this thing like this, and then put that in here like this.